Welcome to today's class. So very definitely working on the hips, amongst other things today. There'll be a bit of shoulders, a bit of hamstring, a bit of back bends, a bit of everything, but a lot of hips. So we'll start lying down. So if you lie yourself down on your mat, come onto your back, and then bring the right foot up onto the left thigh. And if that's as far as you want to go, then by all means you stay there. Just make sure that everything that you do in this practice is what is right for your body. And make sure that if anything feels uncomfortable or painful, that you just stay clear of it. So it feels okay, start to draw your left leg in towards you. And then just have a few breaths here. Drop your shoulders down towards your mat. Close your eyes. Become aware of all the places that you touch the floor. So grounding down through your back, through your shoulders, through the buttocks. Closing the eyes. And just starting to connect to your breath. If you're comfortable making a breath with sound, we can start to constrict the base of the throat. The breath starts to sound a little like a distant ocean. And if that doesn't work for you, just stay with your own breath, your natural breath. But if you can, in and out through the nose. Just being fairly relaxed here in this pose, a little bit more yin style. Just taking a little time for everything to soften. Just finding a sense of letting go and releasing on the exhale, letting go that which you don't need. And then following your next out breath, just taking the left foot back down to the floor. And then you can just split your arms out to the sides, just gently drop your legs over to your left hand side. Turn your gaze look out over your right shoulder. If this is at all uncomfortable for you, you can always unhook the top leg and just rest the right leg on top of the left. Keeping your connection to your breath. Inhale, bring it back through to centre. And then as you exhale, take your legs over to the right. And you can take your gaze out to the left. And again, if it feels like it's too much, just unhook that right foot. Use your next in-breath. Bring it back through to centre. Take your right foot back down onto your mat. We'll do the other side. Left foot onto right thigh. Again, you have the option to stay there. Or you can start to draw the left leg in towards you. Sorry, the right leg in towards you. Again, soften through the shoulders. Gentle, slow breath in and out through the nose. Take one more breath. Just keep this going, a few more breaths here, staying connected to each and every breath you take. So if you find your mind wandering off, just draw it back. 2 more nice slow breaths here. And using your next exhale, taking your right foot back down to the earth, extending your arms and dropping your legs over to your right hand side. Turn to look out over your left shoulder. Both shoulders melt down, arms heavy on the earth. Inhale, come back through to centre, and then as you exhale, legs over to the left. Again, just unhook that top foot if you need to. And then inhale. Head and legs back through to centre. Uncross that left foot from the thigh. Both knees in towards the chest. Have a little rock from side to side. And then just cross the ankles. We're going to roll up and down the mat a few times. Starting to bring some movement into the body. And eventually coming through to upright. Okay. So just find a comfortable seated position. Take your right hand down alongside you. Inhale, sweep the left arm up alongside your ear. And then reach out through the left fingers. Keep the left sitting bone grounded. As you exhale, bring the left arm down. And then inhale, the right arm lifts. Couple of breaths. Do that one more time. Right arm down, inhale, left arm lifts. Another side, left arm down, right arm lifts. And then bring the right arm back down. And let's come over onto all fours. So planting your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. So just start to circle a little bit here. So you perhaps start to bend the elbows, just find some fluidity. Just make any movements that feel right for you. And then come back through to a flat back, tuck your toes underneath, drop your belly down towards the earth and lift the chin. As you exhale, round the spine, tuck the tailbone, bring the chin towards the chest. Inhale, lift the chin, draw the heart forwards, lift the tailbone. And as you exhale, tailbone tucked round the spine, chin comes in towards the chest. Use your next breath to come back to a flat back. Press the ground away from you, toes stay tucked, and lift your knees a little away from the mat. Couple of breaths here. And then gently lift up the knees and come into your first downwards facing dog. So keep the knees bent if you're feeling tight at all in the back of the legs. Just pad out the feet, a couple of breaths with one leg straight. And then we'll swap it over, other leg straightens. Okay, use your next inhale, bring the spine forwards through to plank, press the ground away from you, engage through the core, tailbone tucks, and then if it feels okay, drop the hips down towards the earth, lift the heart forward, reach up through the crown of the head. Engage the core, hips up and back, downwards facing dog. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale forwards to plank. As long as it feels okay, drop the hips. Draw the heart forwards. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. One last time. Inhale, plank. Drop the hips, lift the heart. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Just heavy through the heels. And then use your next inhale. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand or down through the hips. And take your right arm up towards the ceiling. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Expand out through the arms. Lengthening. And then exhale, bring the right hand down. Step back through to plank. Hips up and back. Downwards facing. Take a breath. And then inhale, step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Extend the left arm up towards the ceiling. Find a twist. Bring the left hand down, step it back, downward facing dog. And then from there, bring your knees down onto your mat and come through into a high kneeling position. So we'll keep the toes tucked underneath. Bring the hands to the lower back, draw your elbows in towards each other. Pelvis comes forward, just gently lift up through the heart space. Keep extending through the crown, and either just a long neck or chin to chest. A couple of breaths. The gentle back bend here. And then as you exhale, bring yourself back through to upright and bring your right leg forwards. So right foot comes forwards, we're going to stay on the toes of the left foot. Take your hands behind your head. And then from there, and you could stay here if you want to, as you exhale, take your hips back towards your left heel. Now if you need the support of your hands, you just drop your hands down onto the mat, or you could, if it's too much for the toes, untuck the toes. One more breath. Inhale, we'll bring it forwards again. Swap over the legs. Left leg forwards. Hands behind the head, elbows wide. So again, if it's too much for your toes touched, just untuck them. Or take your hands to the floor for more support. Exhale, hips back towards your right heel. Inhale to come forwards. Release the hands down, step back through to plank. And then from your plank, we're going to lower all the way down to the floor. Untuck the toes. Inhale, cobra. Soften the shoulders. Reach up through the crown of the head. So you don't have to come up very high. It might just be a small cobra. Just do what works for you. But don't hunch the shoulders up. Shoulders drawing down, soft. And then exhale, lower all the way to the floor, tuck the toes, find your way into almost a child's pose, where at the last minute, hips lift up and back, down to facing dog. Couple of breaths, feel the stretch in the calves, lengthen through the spine. And then use your next inhale, float your right leg up behind you, not opening the right hip. We'll keep the hip point facing down, spin open through the inner right thigh. And then bend your right knee. And as you inhale, just gently step your right foot through between your hands, or stay on the ball of the back foot and come up into a high lunge. From there, split your arms out to the sides. I'm going to twist to the right. So you keep reaching up through the crown of the head. And if it feels okay, you can drop your right hand to your left thigh, flip your left palm, and find a reverse high lunge here. Keep Keep your gaze fixed on one spot, you keep breathing. And then come back through, arms outstretched, we'll bring it back through to centre. Whoa, arms reach up alongside the ears. And then as you exhale, release the hands down to frame your right foot. Step back. So you can go straight to downwards facing dog. If you want to move through a vinyasa, you can go through chaturanga, up dog. Over into downwards facing. Inhale, left leg floats up. Keep the left hip point facing down, spinning open through the left inner thigh. And then with control, we'll bend the left knee and step the left foot through in between the hands. Come up into your high lunge. Soften through the shoulders. Put as much of a bend in the left knee as you can. You can keep the right knee bent or straighten the leg, whichever feels better for you. Split the arms out to the sides, we're twisting left. Left arm behind you. Right arm reaches out towards the front of your mat. And you can stay there, or you can drop the left hand to the right thigh and lift up through the right arm. Breathing into the right side body, one more breath. And then come back up through to upright. We'll turn to face the front edge of your mat. Release the hands down to frame the left foot again. Stepping back through to plank. And either straight to down dog or moving through your vinyasa. Or meeting in downwards facing dog. Okay, use your next inhale, float your right leg up behind you, bend your right knee, roll your right hip on top of your left. You might just find some movement through the right ankle, just circling it in both directions. And then squaring off your hips. Use your next inhale, draw your right knee in towards your thigh. Come through to plank, press the ground away from you. And when you're ready, with control, step your right foot through between your hands. Ground your left foot. Virabhadrasana 1 as you inhale. Ground fully through the back foot if that feels okay for you. If it doesn't feel alright for you, then just come to the ball of the back foot instead. Draw the left shoulder forwards. Keep the face and the shoulders tension free. And then we're going to spin it open to our left, Virabhadrasana 2. Soften the shoulders. If your arms get tired, you can always just drop them down. Perhaps take the hands to the waist. Again, shoulders relax. And then use your next breath, bring your right forearm down to your thigh, spin your left shoulder, your left arm up alongside your ear, and then we'll just start to circle that left arm. Nice big circles, first in one direction, back in the other. Come back through to centre. And then come back up through Virabhadrasana 2. And then from there we'll straighten the right leg, turn the feet parallel, turn to face the long edge of your mat. Clasp your hands behind you, and I'm just going to turn around to face this way so you can see what I'm doing. Draw the hands together, shoulder blades together, lift up through the heart. As you exhale, soften the knees and fold forwards. Press over to Padottanasana, just coming through into your forward bend. Each exhale, lengthening the crown of the head down, taking a little weight into the front of the feet as well. Can you find any more opening in the shoulders? And then soften the knees. Inhale, come all the way back through to upright. And then turn your toes to face out. And we're going to come over to the right hand side. Skandasana. And the right hand to the floor, the left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. And it's like you're extending your energy in all directions, out through the left arm, out through the left leg, but grounding down into the right arm as well. Take one more breath. And then just pivot round to face the front edge of your mat and step yourself back through into plank. And from there we'll move into side plank. So bring your right hand to the centre of your mat, roll onto the little toe side of your right foot, take your right arm up towards the ceiling. Try not to stick the bum out behind you. Try and keep feet, hips, shoulders all in one line. If you've got your balance, take your gaze up. Come back through to plank. We'll do the other side, left hand centre of the mat, roll onto the little toe side of the left foot. You can always drop your lower knee down onto the mat if you want a bit of support, so your left knee drops. Bring the right hand back down onto the mat. Your choice, vinyasa or straight to down dog. All meeting back and down to facing. And then inhale, float your left leg up. Bend your left hip, step your left hip on top of your right. Again, you might circle through the left ankle, taking both directions. And then square off the hips. Come through to high plank. Press the ground away from you. With control, left foot steps through between the hands. Or ground the right foot. Virabhadrasana 1 as you inhale. You can look forward, you can look up. Again, you can come onto the ball of that back foot if you prefer. Open up to your right, Virabhadrasana 2. Extending out through the arms, gaze out over the left middle finger. Grounding through the feet, strong legs. And then bringing your left forearm to your thigh, reaching your right arm up alongside your heel. And then we'll just start to add in that movement through the shoulder. So starting to circle the right arm. Nice big circle. Take us in both directions. Come back into the stillness of the pose, reach the arm out over the ear. And use your next inhale, come back up through Virabhadrasana 2, straighten your left leg, parallel your feet. So finding a twist from here, lengthen the spine as you inhale, exhale to fold forwards, right hand to the floor. Extend the left arm up towards the ceiling, roll the shoulders away from the ears. And the option is there to take your left hand to your lower back or tuck it to the top of the right thigh. If it doesn't feel good to look up, you can just look forwards or down. Inhale, left arm reaches back up. Exhale, bring it to the floor. We'll do the other side. Right arm lifts on the inhale. Feel free to bend the knees if you need to. And then right hand to the lower back or tucks into the top of the left thigh. Moving, working with each breath. inhale, take the right arm back up. Exhale, bring the hand down. Soften the knees, bring yourself up through to standing and turn your toes to face out. And then come over, Skandasana to your left. Take the left hand to the floor, reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. And again, it's just like starring your energy out. Imagine a star sending its light out in all different directions. One more breath. Bring the right hand back down. This time walk yourself back through to centre. Parallel the feet. Soften the knees. Bring yourself up through to standing. And then turn to face the front edge of your mat. So we'll come into a balance. So taking the weight onto the right leg. Bringing the left foot up onto the right thigh. Start to pop a little bend in the right knee. And just come down as much as suits you. Keep the spine nice and long, chest open. 2 more breaths. And then inhale, come back through to upright. With your exhale, release the left foot back down. Soften the shoulders. Okay, other side. So weight foot, what is that? Right foot, left thigh. Starting to bend your left knee. And again, you just come down to your own degree. Try not to round the spine. More breath. Okay, use your next inhale to come back through to upright. Release your right foot back down onto your mat. Take your hands to your waist. Lengthen as you inhale with soft knees, just finding a forward fold. Hook onto the big toes with the first 2 fingers. Find your halfway lift as you inhale and then exhale, folding into your forward bend. Tip a little bit of weight to the front of the feet. Connect to your breath. Two more breaths, working in with each breath. And then inhale, look up. Halfway lift, or release the hands, take them to the floor. You can step back into plank and move through a vinyasa, or you can go straight to down dog. If you're moving through a vinyasa, just linger a moment in your back bend. So up dog or cobra. And hips up and back, downwards facing. Okay, we're going to come through into our pigeon pose. So inhaling, you're going to bring the right leg forwards. Just place the leg gently down so that your right knee kind of behind your right wrist. Your right foot is wherever it needs to be for you to get a stretch in the outer hip. Couple of breaths upright. Try and square off the hips as much as you can. If your right hip's really lifted away from the mat, a block or a cushion underneath it can really be helpful. Soften the shoulders. And as you exhale, if it feels okay, we're just going to fold forwards. Just a couple of breaths here. Try and release any tension you might be holding. And then use your next inhale. Come back up onto your hands, tuck your left toes, step back into plank. And again, your choice, straight to down dog, or moving through chaturanga and up dog, lingering a moment or two in your back bend. ready, hips up and back, downwards facing. Connecting to breath, we'll come through to the other side. So as you inhale, the left leg comes forward, left knee behind your left wrist. And again, you can play with where you place the foot. Square off your hips here as much as you can. Couple of breaths up. And then as you exhale, just releasing forward. Try and stay present with each and every breath you take. Take 2 more breaths. And come back up onto your hands. Tuck your right toes. Plank straight to down dog, or again move through your vinyasa. Over into downwards facing dog. And then when you're ready, we're going to step or jump the feet through to seated, and then lie ourselves back down on our mats. So time for your relaxation. So you can be here for as long as you need to. It's quite a short practice, so you don't need a long relaxation unless you want one or you feel that you need one, in which case absolutely take it. But definitely be here for 2 or 3 minutes at least. You can put on some soft music, you can dim the lights, you can switch off your phone, you can switch me off. Just stay here for as long as you need to. And I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Namaste.